Breaking news coming in. India signs mega jet fighter deal with the United States of America, GE and HAL to build fighter jet engines for the Indian Air Force. The MOU has been signed between GE and HAL. GEF414 engines to power Indian Air Force LCA MK2 program. To get us the relevance of this, Abhishek Bhalla joins us on the phone line. Abhishek, tell us the importance of this deal that India has signed with the US for the jet fighters.
Well, a big breakthrough as far as fighter jet engines manufacturing in India is concerned, because what this MOU will facilitate is joint manufacturing of the GE 414 engine that can be used in Tejas Mark II fighter jets, and also it paves the way for joint manufacturing and ensuring that India is self-reliant, does not have to buy fighter jet engines from other countries, because remember, keeping in mind India's own indigenous fighter jet program, after the Tejas Mark II, India wants to upgrade the 5th generation aircraft, MK, and have its own fighter jet manufactured in India. Considering that there are only 2 or 3 big companies in the world that manufacture fighter jet engines, this would mean that in time to come, India would be completely self-reliant as far as manufacturing of fighter jet engines is concerned.
Absolutely. If you could tell us a little more about the announcement that is coming. Is this coming on the back of Prime Minister's meeting with several top American business executives?
Well, this was on the cards, Jyoti. It was expected. We had reported that during the visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, this deal will be finalized. In fact, just a little while earlier, a few weeks before the Prime Minister went to US, the US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was in India. He met Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. That's where this MOU was discussed, and there was an in-principle agreement that a nod will be given and there will be a breakthrough during the Prime Minister's visit. GE has in fact called this a historic agreement, which has been made possible by the long-standing partnership that it has with HAL. HAL is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, India's biggest defense undertaking, and GE in their statement have proud to play a role in advancing President Biden and of closer coordination between the two nations. In fact, 414 engines are the GE is producing, and this will definitely be for India's fighter jet capability. Big boost when it comes to self-reliance. India can manufacture such engines locally and not be reliant on other countries.
Would you say that this announcement is also strengthening the India-US military cooperation, because we all know how China is getting more assertive?
Well, that's true, Jyoti. All eyes are on the other big announcement which is expected during the Prime Minister's visit, and that announcement relates to the acquisition of Predator drones from US. These Predator drones will be a tri-service asset, and India right now doesn't have weaponized armed drones in its armory. So that will be another breakthrough as far as India's capabilities are concerned. India is using 2 Sea Guardians as of now, which have been taken on lease by the Indian Navy, but they are being used only for surveillance and reconnaissance. But the deal that is likely to go through is for 30-odd armed Predator drones, and that will be used by all 3 forces, the Indian Army, Indian Navy, as well as the Indian Air Force, and they will have both surveillance as well as offensive capabilities. So what that means is that if the need be, those drones will be able to strike on ground and in the seas, in the high seas, in water, and that obviously will be a big boost to India's military capabilities, because till now India does not have weaponized drones.
Does this also advance GE's earlier commitment to build 99 engines for the Indian Air Force? All right, Rahul Kaval joins us from the US for more details on this. So how are you viewing this particular development? This is which has come in. It's a huge announcement. The GE Aerospace has signed an MOU with HAL to produce fighter jets for Tejas MK2.
Hi, good morning. We're right outside the White House this morning. It's raining once again in DC, the weather being inclement, but fortunately there are good tidings for the India-America ties, as we've just heard that GEF414 jet engine deal, which had been spoken about a lot, and we've been reporting on the significance of that deal, finally going through in an official fashion. I want to tell our viewers that in a short while from now we'll be allowed inside the White House, where at around 10 a.m., which is in just a little more than 3 hours from now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be ceremonially welcomed. I was seeing right outside, if you see the tents over there, there's a big crew of Indians trying to come in. It's really the hottest ticket in town. Some people will be allowed into the White House to see this ceremonial welcome, which is really nice. It's not just the Indian Prime Minister and the official delegation. They're allowing some local heavyweights to come in as well. And this announcement of the GE414 deal is significant because jet engine technology is very high-end engine technology, which India has been struggling with. Remember, as Gaurav has been saying, India has been trying to build the Kaveri jet engines for the longest time, for decades literally. They're either too heavy, unwieldy, they simply can't get the job done in an efficacious manner, and therefore for the United States to agree to pass on this technology to India is significant. And this is at a time when India isn't a NATO ally or in any formal treaty with the United States, and on multiple issues of foreign affairs, India and the United States have had very clear points of divergence, purchasing Russian oil being one of them, India's position on the Russia-Ukraine war being one of them. So there are very clear points of differences, and despite that, because both India and the United States have a common enemy in China, and that really is the #1 challenge both for Delhi and for DC, which is essentially why deals like the GE414 are now on the table, which they otherwise wouldn't have been. I asked a very high-ranking official in the Indian government about the Predator deal and whether there'd be some element of transfer of technology there as well. So that isn't fully fleshed out yet, but there are 11 different components of the jet engine technology which will be transferred to India. So it's good news for GE. They get a big order. It's great news for India because you get the highest end cutting edge technology, which is then made available to Hindustan Aeronautics to work with, and hopefully they'll do a good job. Remember, HAL has had its own problems, its own challenges, not the most efficient or most they don't really get the highest return on their investments, but this is help from the outside. You have a little bit of help from the outside. China stole a lot of technology from countries like Russia, bought a few reverse engineered. That isn't India's style. It never has been, and this is the one advantage that Soviet Union and later Russia had, that they would give not just armaments to India at less than market prices. They would also do this in a way that transfer of technology would come with it to HAL. HAL has a lot of experience working earlier with the Soviets and now with the Russians. So hopefully as they get this technology, they'll be able to absorb it. Remember, when the Rafale fighter jet deal was happening, at that time the French had lots of concerns about HAL's ability to actually be able to implement the technology in a time-bound fashion. So there are those concerns as well. One is, of course, getting the technology, assimilating it into your system, and then being able to use it in a manner that, you're able to ensure that what you've learned, you're able to implement, and that by itself is a challenge. But this, make no mistake, is a very significant announcement, one of the biggest takeaways from Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to here, to the White House this morning.